Hello, everybody, and welcome to the award-winning car talk show In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars down there, who's gotten caught with his headset down, and King Conrad DeLong right here.
And we're twinsies today.
I know we are.
You got my memo about wear a blue shirt and no pants.
We can't.
Well,
what did you say?
I didn't get the email.
We sent it to you. You just didn't read it.
Well,
ask all of your Zoomers who are calling you saying they didn't get the email either.
So at any rate, we've got a great lineup of guests on today's show. If we can get them in on Zoom, and it's going to be good. So we invite you to stay tuned. We've got a nice 2.5-hour little segment lined out for you today. And if you are just joining us on a podcast, well, stay tuned, because in the next 30 minutes, you're going to hear everything that you wanted to hear and more. Or not. So, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? Are we ready, Mr. Mars?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so joining us right now via Zoom is Randy Sanderlin with Skyline Jeep Club and Norma Jessup with the Jeep 4-Wheel Adventures Group. Hi, you guys. And you guys are together. Huh? You know what? Your audio sounds terrible. I'm not exactly sure. Do you have a microphone on there, or what is that about?
It does have a microphone, but it's not that great. It's just a laptop computer.
Yeah, but turn the volume back down a little bit.
Yeah,
Because it's kind of feeding back in. So is that your IT manager there in the background with the beard?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds a little bit better. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Well, it's good to see you guys. I wanted to find out from you the very first thing out of the box this morning. Last time we talked, you guys were down there by Minute Maid Park and with a bunch of your friends and club members down there. Things have changed since the last time we talked, and I wanted to talk to you about being a couple of clubs that you represent, one Skyline Jeep Club and the other one Jeep 4-Wheel Adventures. How are things going as far as clubbing is concerned with your members and the whole COVID thing? I mean, it's been kind of difficult, has it not?
Yeah, it has. There's a lot of groups not doing meetups at all. There's a few that are doing a lot of meetups still. And
Hey, Randy.
So I tell you what,
Randy, turn the volume back down a little bit.
What we're going to do is we're going to let Mr. Mars work on you guys' audio, because it's really bad.
And I think your speaker volume's up real high, so it's feeding back into the microphone.
Whatever the case may
turn
be.
your speaker volume down.
So everybody just hang tight. We're going to put them on hold, let Mr. Mars and Randy and Norma work on their audio. Sorry about that. We know that we should have had checked that before we went on the air. But at any rate, I guess the conversation is really about what clubs are doing as far as COVID and, clubbing, going places, meeting up, and that sort of thing. I just find it very difficult for clubs to be able to get together unless you social distance and are really cognizant of the fact that everybody needs to wear a mask. And, that has been really a new subject that has really been driven in the past couple of weeks about masking up. Yes, we're unmasked here for your listening and viewing pleasure. But
otherwise, we sound like this.
Yeah, it actually don't even sound that good. It sounds like you're talking from under the covers.
Again? Don's whispering sweet nothings under the covers.
Yeah. So, at any rate, we can only imagine that it would be very difficult for a club to get together with other club members in a closed atmosphere. And speaking of which, there is no Autorama. Autorama would start this coming week. As a matter of fact, move-in would be on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And the opening day is, I think, at lunchtime on Thanksgiving Day. And so all of that's been canceled for this year.
Right.
And it's a real shame because, it's one of the things that I truly enjoy us going to.
Yep.
And we always have great guests. We always get to see Gene Winfield, and he always draws a crowd.
Oh, he draws a huge crowd. And he's a hoot of an interview. He's just a fun guy to interview because he's just another car guy, even though he is a little bit more of a car god. And when you look at his history of people that he has taught the art of, all the metalworking that he does, and his inner relationship with all of these people, I didn't realize how so many of the other big car modifiers,
all of the car shows that are on, everybody knows Gene Winfield,
and to a degree have worked with or under or next to Winfield in their history, in their past or something, when they're youth. So
they even bring him on their show.
Oh yeah, well, it's because everybody knows who he is.
Yes, and anyway, so when we go to Autorama, Gene is usually a guest, and he draws a huge crowd. Everybody seems to be looking at the Suze down there making her nest. Right down there, I think you can see it on the monitor. And so the Suze is here. She got a bath yesterday, by the way, and she.
So you and her bathed?
No,
no, that's right. Today's Saturday. That's your bath day.
That's my bath day on Saturday
versus Monday, which is Mars's bath day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're not even going to go there, I don't think.
Well,
Jeff is waving us off going, no.
Well, one of the other big shows we always like to go to is Keels and Wheels. Bob Fuller's online with us, and he said they are right now, since they canceled this year, they are back on for May 1st and 2nd of 2021 down at Lakewood Yacht Club.
That's good. I think that May would be probably the beginning of a rebound.
The return to normal?
Yeah. I think that it's going to take that long. Us old people have a bit of an advantage in the fact, well, speaking for myself, have a bit of an advantage in the fact that according to sources that are familiar with vaccinations for the upcoming COVID-19 vaccination campaign, that we got a leg up on the competition age-wise, and that we're going to get our vaccinations right up there along with first responders and the healthcare people.
So,
and hopefully
drop your drawers and bend over. You're going to get a shot.
2 of them.
I have 2 cheeks, so that's okay.
Yeah, I think that what is it? A couple of weeks apart. Yeah.
Okay. No comment.
You know what?
It's not a political show. I'll keep my comments to myself.
We don't need to go there, but I thought that you were going to go in a different direction completely, but I don't want to go that way either.
No. But, it's good to see that everybody's coming back online with stuff. We're going to talk to Troy Dixon and Stephen Cruise, who is Speed Advocates, a little bit later in the show about what's going on. Have you got them kind of together yet?
No.
Okay.
So I saw a video this week. You know, when you go on YouTube and you look up some cars, car shows or our show, whatever it is, then if you log out, then you log back in, then all of a sudden here are all these other car shows that they suggest to you. So it was some meetup of all of these younger folks that have imports in downtown L.A.,
yeah, it's a good place
in a garage that had 1 entrance and 1 exit.
Ooh.
And you had to pay to park. Downtown, it was a night event. I don't know when this occurred, but it apparently relatively recently. And all of these imports, there must have been 1,000 of them lined up to get into the.
They all had the.
Yeah, but it didn't
noisy
sound that way.
exhaust systems.
Yeah, they were revving up to 10,000 RPM and wild body work, slammed to the ground. I mean, it was kind of cool. And all I could think of was, if I were that age, I would be all into that. Well, it just so happened that this particular garage that they picked happened to be amongst great big towering condo apartments.
Yeah, that's downtown anywhere.
Yeah. And so they hear all this noise and commotion going on down, and you see them all. They took a picture of all of the people that were standing at their windows looking down to see what was going on. Of course, the cops wound up showing up, and they nix that thing in the bud real quick. So all those people that were now parked in the garage, floor after floor after floor,
are trapped.
It's only one way out. And it's a great big circular drive. They took a picture down. You could see all the people walking up to get to the top floor and all the cars coming down the same ramp to get out, and they're all just sitting there. It must have taken them 2 hours to unload that garage. But it was absolutely, yeah. This one particular, the guy that did the video, he had a car. I'm not exaggerating. It had a spoiler on the front of it that looked like a great big, humongous chin sticking out from underneath the front bumper.
It's the Jay Leno spoiler.
That was about that far off the ground and stuck out. I kid you not. It stuck out in front of the car this much. It was the wildest looking thing you've ever seen. To get it into the garage, just where the street dipped down from the street into the garage, they had to remove it. Couple clips, and here's the guy walking up the ramp with this ginormous spoiler to meet up with the car up on the top floor. Must have been 10 stories walking up the ramp to get the thing up there. It was quite the event.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it was. And this video went on for an hour, and I kind of fast-forwarded to it, but it was interesting to see some of the cars that are out there in L.A. and how big that entire movement is with all of that.
Well, Richard Tomlin from Apex Motorworks, he checked in. The 24 Hours of Lemons is going on today. It just started at a motorsports resort in Angleton.
Oh, that is today.
Yeah, that is today. And he was showing, and I want to say it was my mind says it's a 924 Porsche, which was the four-cylinder, the early generation of that little Porsche.
Air-cooled.
No, that's a water-cooled. It's actually the 924 had an Audi four-cylinder in the front of it.
It can't be.
And then there was a 944, which is a little more Porsche than, and I can't remember. I think it was a 924. It might have been a 944 he was showing, but it was that same looking car, front engine, rear drive car.
Yeah, it can't be too much because they got the claim race there as part of the Lemons deal.
Right.
So it can't be worth that much.
What do you mean the claim race?
Well, I think it's like if there's
you could buy any car that's running for whatever the price is of the day.
It's the Lemons race.
Lemons, not Le Mans, Lemons.
Yes.
Yeah, the Lemons race.
So you go to the junkyard and you pay, a couple $100 for some junker, kind of like roadkill, where they go out to the junkyard and buy something. You go, you got to be kidding me. And they get the thing running. Sometimes it takes them days to do it, but they do.
And then during you can just pay whatever the claim rate is. But some of the things that they'll do to penalize people is in the penalty they may weld as the penalty this big flat plate on the roof of your car facing that way to act as an air dam as you're driving down the way if you're too fast. Oh yeah.
And if they think you're cheating, like you brought a $2,000 car, or you shave the heads or something to give it a little more juice, they'll buy it under the claim rules and crush it right there on the spot.
down there in Angleton?
Well, that's kind of the rules of the 24 Hours of Lemons. It's
how fun. So what do they crush it with?
I don't know that they crush it. But
they used to crush it. I've seen the end result of the crushing. I don't know how they did it.
Well, all it takes is a front end loader and
true.
Yeah.
You should have entered
All right.
the company van.
Well,
should have entered my company
we're going to
van.
move on because we're running a little bit behind now.
Yeah.
So we're going to do. I'm sorry.
I said we got them.
Who do we got?
Randy and Norma.
Oh,
let's see if we got the sound.
Well, I thought you saw me a while ago.
So did we get the audio straightened out with you guys? No. Apparently not. So at any rate, it's good to see you. Hopefully we'll get the audio straightened out and talk to you guys next week. In the meantime, I need to change places with Jeff and Mike, who's going to Jeff is going to do a review of the, Mike, if you don't mind getting up,
Yep,
the 2017 Ferrari F430 Spider. It's an everyman's car. It should be no big deal.
An everyman's
Ferrari.
I don't know if I'd say a 430 is an everyman's Ferrari, but I would imagine, though, as Ferrari goes through their ebbs and flows of valuations, because when you first buy a Ferrari, you probably take a pretty big hit in depreciation, and if you kind of wait long enough, the value begins to climb above the purchase price.
At what point does that happen?
I'm not real sure, but again, some of that's going to depend on the production numbers of the Ferrari, which model number it is, and the 430 is kind of one of those. I think it's on the low side of valuation at this point, with a higher valuation not too far in the future because it's been out long enough. It's kind of like the 308 GT. GTB and GTS.
Oh my God! Well, those are icons of motoring.
Hey guys.
Hey Jeff. Well, tell us about the
car.
car.
From now on, we're going to put you a microphone over there.
That's fine.
And we're going to get you a camera over there.
Okay. In the dressing room.
In the dressing room
needs to be worked on.
But everybody puts baby in the corner.
That would be you, sir. I'm at the children's table.
Yeah, that's right. With Thanksgiving coming up.
But there can only be 9 other people there with you.
No, 6. 5 or 6. Anyways, you talked about the 308, and last week
you
I made
teased
mention, exactly. And Don says, "No, you're going to have to do that." Well, I researched the 308, and it was some convoluted information and back and forth on the year, make, model, what it had.
Nothing convoluted about a 308 GTB.
Well, there's not.
But everybody thought it was a Magnum PI car,
exactly,
and it wasn't.
But it was. But the valuation and its
styling and things. So I flipped it. I changed it last minute. I generally put this in on Wednesdays. I changed it on Thursdays for Mike. Blah blah blah. So it is the 2009 Ferrari.
Oh, 2009. Wait, let me change this.
Change that. F430.
2009 F430 Spider.
Yes. And
the Spider, that would be the convertible.
Yes. And there's also an F1, which is a 2-door coupe. So there's 2 different ones.
Well, wait a minute. We only can do one car.
I know, but so far as the trim levels. The trim levels, there's 2. There's the F430, and then there's the F1, which is the coupe. And then you got the convertible.
But this is the 430 Spider.
Correct.
So we just stay with that one.
All right. But you want to know the trim levels?
Okay.
F1.
There you go.
There you go.
And wasn't this kind of the introduction of the Manumatic in Ferrari as well?
You're spot on. You're spot on. So far as a class type, it's a sports, exotic. I call it cool. 2-passenger. But if you have 2 expectant women in there, you got a 4-passenger.
That's sexy.
Yeah. There you go. And, of course, there's a Spider. You can do the convertible as
How can you have a Ferrari that's not red? Really?
I did that on purpose.
Oh, my God. A Ferrari is red.
There are 26 exterior colors for a Ferrari.
And they'll do a custom color. You send them the color you want, and they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it, but they'll actually do, and I know Lamborghini will do a custom, all of them will do a custom
Then you won't be able
color.
to drive the stick if you got an arm and a leg. So.
Oh. Since Don doesn't have sound effects,
you go for it.
Oh, dear God.
You go for it. Anyways, exterior features, you got the hardtop to convertible, as you see there. Front air scoop styling. Once we get into that photo, it's coming up. Rear deck spoiler. And, of course, you've got the 285, 35, 19Z tires.
Oh, good. So we just go from the exterior right onto the interior.
We're doing that. Leather dash, leather steering wheel wrap, leather door panels. There's nothing in here that's not leather, well, except for the carpet and the floor mats.
Well, it looks like there's quite a bit of carbon fiber in there as well.
Exactly. I'm getting into that as well. And, of course, you've got, for some reason, which stood out to me, you've got reading lamps in this vehicle. Well, why would you need a reading lamp in a Ferrari?
I just need reading glasses.
There you go.
Do they have a prescription windshield for Don?
No, but that's a good idea. It's a great idea. We'll work on that one. Speed proportional steering, which I thought of you, Conrad, because, of course, the faster you go, the tighter it gets. I was amazed at that. 8-way power seats for both sides.
Wait a minute. Let me absorb that just a moment. The faster you go, the tighter it gets.
I knew you were going there.
The firmer the steering gets.
Yeah.
But that makes no sense.
Oh,
Ride is firmer.
No, but you also, the faster you go, you want your inputs to have less effect on the ability of the tires to turn. Because when you're doing 20 miles an hour in a parking lot, you want to make a turn and you want to turn 90 degrees. At 100 miles an hour, you don't. If they can lower that effectiveness of the amount of energy it takes to turn the steering wheel, it actually probably makes the car safer because it's going to slow the inputs down.
So zigzagging down the lane.
Well, you can
Right.
zigzag, but you're going to have to definitively want to do that.
Yes.
You're not. It's not going to be so sensitive to turn.
like an Indy car.
Well, like an Indy car, but also like, and I'm going to bang on myself, like a Buick or a Cadillac, where you always have what I call overboosted steering. The steering's always super easy and super sensitive.
Right.
So you don't want that in a high-performance car.
It's almost like having no power steering to that point.
and that would make sense as
Right.
well.
Yeah, just the proportional. 8-way power seats on both sides, paddle shifters, heated mirrors. The trunk amazes me. 8.8 cubic feet of space in the
You
trunk.
couldn't even put a golf bag.
You couldn't
back
even.
there.
Well, you got your toolkit, the Ferrari toolkit, but
well,
that's just a small portion. Like I said earlier, 26 exterior colors, 12 interior colors, all leather. All leather.
It's a lot of different cows.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can dye leather.
Oh, okay.
And there's a big jealousy factor for me on this, so I'm just pointing that out. It's a V8, 4.3 liter, 483 horsepower. That's at 8,500 foot-pounds. It's got a dual overhead cam.
What are the Newton meters of that?
343 in the torque.
But at 8,500 RPM, that's buzzing down the highway.
Well, the
to create
torque is
that
at
kind of power.
5250.
Well, that's not,
Yeah.
that's lower.
That's exactly right. Yeah, lower. It's a 6-speed manual, and of course, it's got the automated 6-speed
Right.
for the F430. The coupe, which is the F1, is just a 6-speed. Now, we talked about earlier the 308. The 308 had a dog leg shifter. That would mean instead of first gear, it would be reverse. First gear was down where second would be normally, and then third up, fourth up, second up, third down.
Those Italians get that all screwed up.
Well, and generally it was also a metal gated shifter. Where,
Exactly.
Where in
I was going to get into that, the
Okay, in a
gated shifter.
domestic car, it's just a boot.
Right.
You know, and you got to know where it is. In a Ferrari,
It helps you.
It's got a metal gate in there, so if you
It's so old school.
well, but that's so Ferrari-ish. And now I don't even know if you can get them very many manuals in Ferraris. I think.
Why, well, it's a
Paddle shifting.
paddle shifted manual.
And I
shift
think the Lamborghini's the same
But
way.
why would you want to? I mean, that paddle shifted thing, it changes
faster
gear than you can.
Yeah, very much.
I prefer just doing it the old school way. The talent on the steering wheel. I play the drums. I'm ambidextrous, but
there's
that's-
the picture that we should have seen about 5 minutes ago.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's a gorgeous front
Gorgeous,
end.
yeah.
I mean, stunning front end.
So, nevertheless, they did that because the Italians thought going from second to third gear was the optimal way to shift the vehicle. So that's why they did that. The city on the miles per gallon, city is 11. The highway at 16, combined 13. So you're not going to get a whole lot on that. 25-gallon tank, and it's premium. Double wishbone suspension. This vehicle, brand new, $335,000
Holy
plus.
Toledo.
And that's just that one, not even in red.
Oh, I can't. That just irritates me.
The F430, the one we're reviewing, is $200,154.
Oh, because it doesn't have a top.
Right, and this only has it's got less than 9,000 miles on it.
Really?
Yeah,
Bargain.
bargain. Now the coupe, if you wanted to do the F1, you're looking at 187. I'm about 188.
I'd take the coupe
Yeah, I would too.
on a car that's 11 years old.
Yeah.
How many miles? Any idea?
It was like 82.
Yeah,
82
the
and some
speedometer.
change.
82,000.
8,200.
8,200 miles.
Yeah, that's under
Which is
10.
relatively typical on that Highline Italian import stuff, because most people don't want to pay for that $30,000 maintenance service. You know, that may be
What?
oh gosh, that's why so many of them are leased, because they roll out of the lease before those big maintenances come up. You may be talking about a $10,000-$15,000 maintenance.
And some of these, they seal the engine so you don't do your own maintenance. You have to take it back.
Well, I had an interview with the local Ferrari dealer here. This is years ago. And it was a very eye-opening thing to go into the shop. And our video switcher has been a little...
No, we're fine.
Are we fine?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
He's doing a fine job.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeffrey, for the 2009 Ferrari Shocker.
Next week, we're doing an Abrams tank.
We're not doing an Abrams tank, although that would be fun.
It would be awesome.
And I
I'll pull
bet
it
you
right
you
up
could
here.
probably buy one.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'd put it. Could you park it in the driveway?
Who is
Would
it?
it fit in the driveway?
Someone here in Houston
Busby.
has Busby's got one. I was thinking Busby's
he
got
ran
one.
for he ran for mayor, but about 3 years ago, he had that tank parked out in front of his house in Tanglewood.
Yep, on his lawn or in his driveway.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
And just so many people just raised hell about it, and I think he did it just to go.
Mr. Busby, if you're listening, give me a holler.
Spot on. Bring it over here and park it in my driveway for a while. Well, it's better than what we got across the street now.
Oh.
The dumpsters.
The dumpsters. Yeah. I live in an area where they're redoing a house across the street. What a disaster that is. It's kind of funny to watch. They haven't done anything this week at all. They replaced the dumpster last Saturday, haven't put a thing in it. I think that the city has finally cracked down on their permits, of which they had none.
Oh boy.
There's that.
Oh, really? Wow.
All right. We're moving on now.
Moving on.
So we.
I'm going to cancel your stuff
Yes, sir.
because I've got so much news
Okay, not a problem.
that I thought that it would be.
You're in charge. You know, we're
No, I'm not in charge.
Yeah,
of
you're in
it.
charge. We're just here to
So, but I thought that we could get
hang on your coattails.
I thought that we could get a laugh out of this. Owners of select model year 2017 through 2019 Chevrolet Bolt vehicles, in bold letters, should park their cars outside and away from homes until their vehicles have been repaired due to a new recall for the risk of
a thermal event, which is what, when I worked for General Motors, we would never call things a fire if a car had something was wrong and it would catch fire. We called them thermal events. What those thermal events could burn your house down.
So 50,932 Chevrolet Bolt vehicles.
Ooh, that's all of them.
Unintended fire in the high voltage battery pack underneath the back seat's bottom cushion. Because that's where the battery is.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
The
common.
affected vehicle's cell packs have the potential to smoke and ignite internally, which could spread to the rest of the vehicle and cause a structure fire if parked inside a garage or near a house. Oh, God.
So, if 2020 wasn't bad enough yet, now when your phone explodes, and this is basically the same technology as, you know, you see these videos of the phone exploding. That's what's happening to the batteries inside the Bolt.
Let's see. It says here, until the recall vehicles have been repaired, the safest place to park them outside and away from the house. And
don't leave anything extra inside the car either.
There is a certain function that you can put the car in. It's not having in this particular release from NHTSA. No, it's some sort of other mode that they're recommending. Go to safercar.gov, type in the serial number, and you'll get all of the info on your car that's apparently at risk of catching fire. Millennials will lead the car ownership boom over the next 6 months as the world continues to reel from the impacts of the pandemic on personal mobility. There's a growing trend toward personal car ownership as a result of COVID-19, and people ages 24 to 39 will lead the push. According to consulting group EY's 2020 Mobility Consumer Index, millennials represent 45% of the nearly one-third of people without a vehicle who intend to buy one in the next 6 months.
Well, that makes sense. My son, who's lived in San Francisco now for almost 10 years, he never owned a car, and almost a little bit less than a year ago, he bought one.
Well, 71% are looking to buy a gasoline or diesel model. 23% are looking to buy a hybrid, and just 6% are looking to purchase a full electric vehicle.
Well, part of that's because they're catching fire in the garage.
In the garage. There is that. And the last item that I'm going to give you here is BMW is offering an early warning system that alerts drivers to the use of speed detection devices and traffic speed and red light cameras on their route.
Oh, just what BMWs need.
They need a lot of help because apparently the sales have kind of tanked. BMW's traffic camera information service relies on a nationwide network of public, fixed, and mobile traffic camera locations coupled with data from radar and laser detectors to alert drivers in real time through their infotainment display. BMW includes the traffic camera information system as a 3-month trial on certain 2021 model year vehicles. After that period, owners must decide whether to continue it at a cost of $25 for 15 months.
Right. Let's put you on a subscription to your radar your built-in radar detector.
So, yeah. Anyway. Well, the In Wheel Time Car Show will continue right after this little break. And we invite you to stay tuned for that. Oh, I potted up the wrong thing. Sorry. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. The Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In in Katy returns Saturday morning, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. This fun and fabulous event attracts the best rides in town. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all in one place. The Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a 3-hour friends and family event. Loopy's will have breakfast tacos, coffee, and the best cars, all at one location. The Loopy Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, November 21st, 8 to 11 a.m. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Dziekan. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com.